In the quiet village of Umoru, everyone believed that Amara was cursed. For 12 years of marriage, she had never carried a child. At first, people pitied her, then they mocked her, then they feared her. Every morning, women whispered when she passed the market, "Poor Chike, 12 years and no child. A man deserves a real wife." Amara heard every word, but she never responded. Her husband Chike had changed too. The man who once held her hands beneath moonlight now barely looked at her. At night, he returned home late. Some nights, he did not return at all. Whenever Amara tried to speak, he grew angry. "You are the reason my family name is dying," he shouted one evening, slamming his cup against the wall. Amara flinched. "I have prayed," she whispered. "I have done everything. Then your prayers are useless." The room fell silent. Chike grabbed his wrapper and stormed out. Amara sat alone beside the lantern, tears rolling silently down her cheeks. But there was something nobody in the village knew, not even Chike. Every year, Amara secretly visited the village midwife, Mama Ife, an old woman feared by many because she always knew things nobody told her. That same night, Amara arrived at Mama Ife's hut again. Rain poured heavily outside. Mama Ife sat near the fire, grinding herbs slowly. "You came back," the old woman said calmly. Amara wiped her tears. "He wants to marry another woman." Mama Ife stopped grinding. "I know." Amara's voice trembled. "Tell me the truth, Mama Ife. Is there something wrong with me?" The old woman stared directly into her eyes. "For 12 years, I have told you the same thing." Amara swallowed hard. "You are not barren." Outside, thunder roared. Amara's breathing grew shaky. "Then why?" she whispered. "Why can't I give him a child?" Mama Ife leaned closer. "Because your husband is the problem." Amara froze. The words hit harder than thunder. "No," she whispered. "He cannot father children." Amara stared in disbelief. "That cannot be true." "It is. But he said he blamed you because it was easier." Amara stepped backward slowly. "You must never tell him I said this," Mama Ife warned. But Amara's mind was already racing. 12 years. 12 years of shame. 12 years of insults. 12 years of crying herself to sleep. And all along, it was Chike. The next morning, the entire village gathered at Chike's compound. Women danced excitedly. Men drank palm wine. Chike stood proudly beside a young woman named Adaise, beautiful, younger, and pregnant. Amara felt the world spin. The villagers whispered loudly behind her. "You see, the problem was Amara. She was cursed after all. Now Chike will finally have an heir." Amara looked at Adaise's swollen stomach. Something felt wrong, very wrong. That night, she returned home quietly. Chike entered later with a smug smile. "You should prepare yourself," he said proudly. "Adige will move in before the child arrives." Amara stared at him. "You are certain the child is yours?" Chike's smile disappeared instantly. "What kind of question is that?" Amara held his gaze. "Answer me." Chike slapped the table violently. "Do not disrespect me." Amara said nothing else, but deep inside, a storm had begun. Weeks passed. Adaise moved into the compound. The humiliation became unbearable. Villagers openly mocked Amara now. Children laughed whenever she passed. Even Chike's mother insulted her daily. "One woman gives a man joy," she sneered, staring at Adaise's belly. "Another brings only emptiness." Amara endured everything silently, but she watched Adaise carefully, and slowly, strange things began to appear. Adaise avoided Chike often. Sometimes she disappeared late at night. One evening, Amara followed her quietly, through dark paths, past the stream, into the forest edge, and there, Adaise ran into the arms of another man. Amara's heart nearly stopped. The man held Adaise's stomach gently. "When this child comes," he whispered, "we will finally leave this village." Adaise smiled. "I only need to endure Chike a little longer." Amara covered her mouth in shock. The child truly was not Chike's. Mama Ife had been right. Amara returned home trembling. For the first time in years, she laughed, not from happiness, but from disbelief. All the shame, all the suffering, built on lies. Days later, the village prepared for a naming celebration before the child's birth. Chike walked around proudly greeting everyone like a king. Amara watched quietly from the corner. Then suddenly, Mama Ife arrived. The entire compound fell silent. The old woman rarely attended celebrations. She walked slowly toward Chike. "I have something important to say," she announced. Chike frowned. "What is it?" Mama Ife looked around carefully. "This child does not belong to you." Gasps exploded across the compound. Adaise turned pale instantly. Chike laughed angrily. Old woman, have you lost your mind? Mama Ife remained calm. For years, you blamed your wife for your condition. Chike's face darkened. What nonsense are you speaking? You cannot father children. Silence. Dead silence. Even the wind seemed to stop moving. Chike looked around nervously as villagers began whispering. You lie, he shouted. Mama Ife pointed her staff toward Adaise. Ask her who the real father is. All eyes turned toward Adaise. Sweat rolled down her face. Chike grabbed her arm roughly. Speak. Adaise burst into tears. I'm sorry. The crowd erupted instantly. Women screamed. Men cursed loudly. Chike staggered backward like a man struck by lightning. His mother collapsed onto the ground in shock. Amara stood silently, watching. For the first time in 12 years, nobody was looking at her with pity. Nobody mocked her. Nobody called her Barren. Chike turned toward her slowly. His proud face was gone. Only shame remained. You knew? He whispered weakly. Amara looked at him calmly. I asked you once if you were certain the child was yours. Chike lowered his eyes. The villagers began murmuring angrily. All these years, he ruined that woman's life. He blamed her for his own shame. Adaise suddenly ran from the compound crying. Her lover, who had secretly attended the celebration, fled after her. Chaos swallowed the gathering, but Amara simply walked away quietly. For the first time in years, her shoulders felt light. That night, Chike entered her room slowly. He looked broken, smaller somehow. I am sorry, he whispered. Amara remained silent. Tears filled his eyes. I was afraid, he admitted. When Mama Ife told me years ago, I could not accept it. Amara's expression hardened. So you destroyed me instead. Chike fell to his knees. I thought if people blamed you, they would never suspect me. Amara stared at him coldly. 12 years, Chike. His tears fell freely now. 12 years. The lantern flickered between them. Finally, Amara spoke softly. You did not just steal my happiness. She looked directly into his eyes. You stole my dignity. Chike broke down completely, but Amara felt nothing anymore. The love she once carried had died long ago. In the following weeks, the story spread beyond Umoru village. People who once mocked Amara now greeted her respectfully. Women apologized. Some cried before her, but Amara had changed. She no longer cared about their opinions. One morning before sunrise, she packed her belongings quietly. Mama Ife watched from outside as Amara stepped onto the empty road. Where will you go? The old woman asked. Amara smiled faintly. Anywhere my name is not tied to shame. Mama Ife nodded slowly. You are stronger than this village deserved. Amara looked toward the rising sun. For the first time in 12 years, her future finally belonged to her. Thank you for watching this story till the end. If you enjoyed it, please like, share, and subscribe to Edu Tales for more powerful African stories. See you in the next tale.